Good morning, everyone, and welcome to worship, and thank you for your patience as we work through some of our technical issues this morning. And thank you to Neil and our improvised jazz band. This Sunday, the music is going to be, we're going to have a Jazz Sunday musically this morning, and also Robin MacArthur later on in the service is going to share her faith story with us, and we're looking forward to that today. So siblings in Christ, this day we gather in community to rest from our labors, to see those we've missed, and to open ourselves to the greater reality of which we are a part. May we find inspiration and renewal. May we touch the holy in each other and be touched by the graciousness of life. May we find here an acceptance and peace that will carry us through the days ahead. And so we begin this time of worship by lighting our Christ candles. And of course, the one in our sanctuary is wrapped symbolically from week to week in the diverse colors of human skin. The presence of the divine is true in Jesus the Christ and true in all peoples. The same Spirit that was in Jesus is here drawing us together. We are the body of Christ in this time and in this place. So friends, would you please rise as you are able as we sing, Come Let Us Sing. It's number 222 in your red voices united. Chris, could you just check that we are streaming live at this moment? Thank you. And so, friends, let's continue our service with gratitude and respect as we remember that together this planet is sacred and we are on holy ground. Chris, if you could, I'm giving you a lot of instructions, if you could advance through the slides here. Next one, please. Earth is our only home, and we are connected with all who live here. In this summer season of green and growth, we are grateful for the way the earth sustains all life. Lament that we have not honored our deep relationship with the earth. The climate crisis, the devastation of habitats, and loss of species are all calling us to learn and practice better stewardship. The Haudenosaunee, Chinootan, and Anishinaabe have cared for and shared this land for millennia. Generations ago, they welcomed newcomers who entered into treaties with them. We seek to live into right relationship with all Indigenous peoples on whose land we have settled. We commit to listening to and respecting their wisdom. And Chris, we can advance at this point. And let's continue this time of gathering with a welcome that is extended to all people. Seeking true community and following the example of Jesus, all are welcome here. Welcome to people of all ages, colors, abilities, gender identities, and sexual orientations. May we recognize the spark of the divine in each of us. And so, friends, let's continue this morning with the sharing of some community news. Of course, everyone is invited to time of coffee and refreshment following the service, and we thank those who organized that this morning for their efforts. Let you know that the summer services schedule is in the What's Up. Next week, Paul Knowles is going to share his faith story with us. And then beginning in August, we're going to be part of sharing worship services with the other three Waterloo United churches. And the first Sunday in August, we're actually here. Park Minster is hosting, and I'll be presiding at the service. But for the other services, please take a look at the What's Up email. There's also the three local regional bodies of the United Church of Canada have put out a petition in regards to the situation in Palestine, and it's in regards to advocating for a ceasefire and ensuring a safe humanitarian corridor. And so you might have seen that in the What's Up. And there's also a paper version in the narthex if you would like to take a look and perhaps sign the petition. I'm wondering if there's anybody here who has an announcement this morning or on Zoom if you have an announcement. No? So friends, not seeing any other announcements, let's continue with our Jazz Sunday this morning.
We're getting organized. I just wanted to, before we made it to the bulletin and sending things in, we'd rehearsed yesterday, and it was such a joy. This is such a great service to put together and coordinate with all of these fine people at the front. But one in particular, being Bob Hudgens, it's such a treat for us to see him and hear him play this music. And I thought on the way home, we should be called Bob Hudgens with the Other Guys. So such a joy to get this service together, and the camaraderie that comes from this type of music is just amazing. So Bob Hudgens and the Other Guys.
And so, friends, as we come before a story from our faith tradition and prepare to hear a Robin's faith story, and as we seek to hear the Word of God within it for each of us, let's join together in prayer and ask for some help with that task. So it's a responsive prayer this morning. God of the vastness of space, of the immensity of the Great Lakes, and the wide open prairie, empty us of all that prevents us from hearing what your Spirit is saying in the story from our faith tradition and in the sharing of Robin's faith story. Empty us of our preconceptions, our preoccupations, and our prejudices. Empty us that we might be filled with an unfathomable acceptance and an awe at the presence of grace in our lives. Robin has chosen a reading from the prophet Isaiah to go with her faith story this morning. It's part of a long section in Isaiah where the prophet is speaking to the Jewish people who have been in exile in Babylon for a long time and have become comfortable there. The prophet is trying to convince them to return to Jerusalem and build the city and the temple again. Here Isaiah speaks of God's care and provision for the faithful who will undertake the journey. So we begin at chapter 43, verses 1 to 13 from the Inclusive Bible. But now Leah and Rachel and Jacob hear the word of Yahweh, the one who created you, the one who fashioned you, Israel. Do not be afraid, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the seas, I will be with you. When you pass over the rivers, you will not drown. Walk through fire, and you will not be singed. Walk through flames, and you will not be burned. I am Yahweh your God, the Holy One of Israel, your deliverer. I give Egypt as ransom for you, Nubia and Seba in exchange for you. You are more precious to me than Assyria. You are honored, and I love you. I will give people in exchange for you, whole nations in exchange for your life. Have no fear, for I am with you. I will bring your descendants from the east and gather them from the west. To the north I will say, give them up, and to the south do not hold them back. Bring my daughters and sons from afar. Return them from the ends of the earth. Everyone who is called by my name, whom I created for my glory, whom I formed and made. Bring forth this people, a people who have eyes but cannot see, a people who have ears but cannot hear. All the nations gather together and the peoples assemble. Who among them foretold this and revealed to us the former things? Let them present their witness to verify their words, that the jury might say, it is true. You are my witnesses, says Yahweh, my chosen servant, so that you may know and believe me and understand who I am. Before me no God existed, nor will there be one after me. Who am I? I am Yahweh, and there is no liberator except me. It was I who made it known, I who declared it and saved you. It was I who was in your midst and not some foreign god, and you are my witnesses. It is Yahweh who speaks, that I am God. I am God from all eternity, and no one can take you out of my hand. What I do, no one can undo. Friends, this is the witness of Israel. Thanks be for this testimony of faith. And so I invite you to rise as you are able as we sing, I have called you by your name. It's number 161 in your spiral-bound More Voices. Please be seated. Could you begin recording on the laptop? Record to the cloud there, please. I'm not sure we're live streaming on Facebook at this point, so I just want to make sure we do have a recording. Here we go. The great voice. So, friends, it's my pleasure to introduce Robin to you a little bit this morning. Robin has been, MacArthur has been a member of Parkminster for 2 years after locating to KW for university. Growing up in Barrie, she attended Collier Street United Church. Robin is a clinical pharmacist at Grand River Hospital with a part-time teaching role at the School of Pharmacy. She is a proud wife to Shane and mom to Adela and Chloe. Their favorite family pastimes include crafting, park time, and Friday movie nights. Robin, thank you for sharing your story this morning. Come on up.
Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity today to share a part of my faith journey with you this morning. As I've listened to the others over the past month share their stories, I found a deep appreciation of the life experience behind every smiling face that I meet and encounter on my Sundays here at Parkminster. I grew up in Barrie, Ontario in the 90s before the big bust of the GTA, and when Great Canadian Mindbuster was the most impressive view from the Highway 400 North. My family attended Collier Street United Church on Sundays, and I have amazing memories of story time at the front of the church before going down to Sunday school. My minister's name was Reverend Dennis Posno, and every week I would listen to a reflection at the front of the church before heading down to play games and sing songs. I continued on learning about Jesus and popular Bible stories in Vacation Bible School and participating in the youth choir. I know, I'm an awful singer. There was no additions to participate in this choir. Most notably, I had the unforgettable role of Granny that showcased my naturally squeaky and out-of-tune vocal talents in a musical that was called The Secret to My Success. Growing up in the church was a place of comfort for me. There's nothing quite like having children of your own to bring you closer to your own childhood and reflecting on it. This became so evident as I looked back on my faith journey and the impact it's had on my adult life. I guess my understanding of faith up until my early adulthood was fairly surface level. I recall one confirmation class led by that same Dennis Posno that would share Bible reflections before Sunday school. He asked all of us to write down what makes a Christian and how do we know that we are a Christian. This was the first time I've ever really been puzzled in this class and in any class at that point in my life, to be honest. And so of course I thought about what would be most correct or most accurate. They included things like following the 10 Commandments and attending church every Sunday. After we presented our list, he welcomed our responses, but challenged us to think deeper about what makes us worthy in God's eyes. He shared with us a story of people in his faith community that were struggling to find Jesus and where their faith was really uncertain. He spoke about how faith can be restored in knowing the teachings of Jesus and how his death and resurrection can provide hope in times of darkness. He spoke about a man that was struggling with substance addiction and homelessness and is worthy of God's love and care, and how us as Christians can provide light and service to those in dark times. This brought an aha moment in my faith story that made everything a bit more clear. I don't need to be a perfect person to be Christian, and God accepts you as you are, and your faith journey can have bumps and turns. I've accepted that my faith in believing in God makes the impossible become possible, and that no journey that I take will ever truly be alone, and that God can provide me comfort in both the struggle and in the victory. When I moved out of the house and attended university out of town in London and Waterloo, Ontario, I found it comforting to attend a church on Sunday and listen in a cozy corner to sermons. A few of my friends actually visited Parkminster about 15 years ago a few times. I met my husband during this time of my life, and after we settled in Waterloo, we started attending different churches to find a good fit for our family. Our first Sunday as a family at Parkminster felt familiar for me and comforting for both of us. The congregation is so warm and welcoming, and my girls enjoyed the beautiful music. It is just so delightful to be able to watch this every Sunday. You guys do an incredible job. On our meeting with Reverend Heather and Joe before having our youngest daughter Chloe baptized, Heather shared that she spent time as a student receiving mentorship from a Reverend Dennis Posno. This coincidence seemed more serendipitous to me. The teachings that were so influential to me as a young adult were now only 1 or 2 degrees away from having a meaningful impact on my own children. I am so appreciative of this community that we have started to build over the last 2 years here. And even as a busy family that aren't able to attend every week, we look forward to our time here every Sunday. I look forward to new learnings from Reverend Joe and all the incredible speakers that come from this church community. My hope is that my girls will grow into faith and appreciate the value of their time that they have spent in this space. My faith story has really only begun, so I look forward to continuing my journey with you at Parkminster. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Robin. And so Robin has chosen a hymn to go with her faith story this morning. It's One More Step Along the World I Go. It's number 639 in your red, Voices United. Please rise as you were.
One more step along the road I seated. Friends, what a privilege it is to share in God's mission of healing and reconciliation in our time and place. So thank you for your ongoing gifts of time, talent, and treasure. As we share our stories together this summer, we are reminded of the significance and importance of community in our lives, not only for ourselves, but for all people. With your support, we continue the important ministry of Parkminster and that of the United Church through the Mission and Service Fund. So friends, let us bring our gifts before God at this time.
Great mystery you continually give to us. Each breath is a gift, each heartbeat unearned, each bite of food alms from the earth, each drink of water an offering of life to us. Responding to this generosity, we give out of gratitude. We dedicate our lives to your way of love. Receive our offerings as a sign of our gratitude and commitment. May they be blessed for the healing of the world. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated.
And so, friends, let's come together to share the joys and concerns that sit on our hearts this day for our own lives, for those we know, for things we see out in the world and in our community before our formal prayer this morning. So I'll come forward with the mic in a second, but just raise your hand if you have a blessing or concern you'd like to share. And if you're on Zoom, just type it into the
we'll make sure that it gets read out. I do want to share that Laura Ford has been in intensive care since late June with kidney issues. So Liz asked if we could hold Laura in our prayers this day, and we will certainly do that. Do you have any blessings or concerns you'd like to share this morning? Pass that to John there.
Well, I just wanted to share a blessing and kind of a neat announcement. Last Sunday, there was a family gathering in our backyard, and there were some plans made in advance. And one of the plans that Wendy and I was completely unaware of was the fact that our son Matthew and his friend Sylvia got married. So we had no idea it was happening. It was just there were flowers and there was food, all the preparations, and then this officiant walked down the driveway and the ceremony was held, and all of a sudden we have a new member of our family. So.
Thank you.
So today, friends and parish group, we're still worried about just prayers going out to Marion Mutton. Okay, she's getting weaker. She can't attend church anymore. It's hard for her to even stand up. Okay, so I've got someone in my house living here. They're looking after her best we can. Okay, so prayers go out to Marion Mutton.
Thank you. Thank you to you both. Anyone else? Blessings or concerns to share? Excuse us. Just turn it
Is that better? I know that at least 3 of us from this congregation are going to paddle the Grand this week and next week, starting on Wednesday until I think the 2nd of August, along with dozens of other people as part of the 2-row paddle on the Grand, which happens every year. And so it's really a very special time, and I just ask for prayers for safety for everyone and for grace. It's really kind of surprising the things that happen amongst the community that grows during those 10 days. So thank you.
I would just ask that you keep the president of our Western Ontario Waterways Regional Council, Jennifer Irving, and her family in your thoughts and prayers. Her husband Neil died this week, and it's very heart-wrenching time.
Thank you, Heather. Oh, yes.
Morning, everyone. I wanted to let you know that my mom, Lucy Dempsey, is now in a new location. She lives at the Cambridge Country Manor. And it took just ice cream and chocolate brownies to get her out of the car in the new location. And but she's really enjoying the new place and no longer at Luther Village. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that update, Phil. What else? Blessings or concerns to share this day? And friends, as we come before a more formal time of prayer, let's sing our intention to open our lives to God. Author and monk Richard Rohr says, mature prayer always breaks into gratitude. So, Holy One, be with us in the stillness of prayer. Not the talking that leads to asking, but the listening. The listening that begins in restlessness. The restlessness of a brain that urges us to find our purpose in doing. The restlessness of a brain that wants to avoid the uncomfortable and painful in life. Stay in the stillness long enough and you discover that the restlessness is just a voice. Greet it. Welcome it. Be kind and compassionate towards it, and it will calm itself. The voice of restlessness will defer out of respect to a deeper voice that is the same as silence. Settle into this silence, this place beyond doing, where you know yourself and creation to be one, where you come to see the enormity of what has already been done for you, and that the work of grace is ongoing. Sit in the stillness and know gratitude. In response to the gifts of grace in our lives and in our world, may we also have the ears to hear the cries of this world and to respond in hope. Compassionate One, fill us with your love, that we may see deeply all the needs around us. Every day without a ceasefire in Gaza is a day where Palestinian lives are lost, families destroyed, and the conditions for more violence fed and nurtured. Every day without peace and justice is one more day that Israelis will live in fear and raise their children in a society warped by fear. Every day the war in Ukraine goes on, the more it becomes background noise. Inured to the suffering, tired of the story, we lose the urgency to see a just peace. Every day, our exploitative economy destroys the lives of the most vulnerable, as we see in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where a humanitarian crisis is unfolding. as groups in government fight over the extraction of minerals used in our electronics. Every day this week we heard of the urgency of Canada raising its military spending to 2% of GDP in order to do our part for peace and stability. Every day we fail to hear any voices calling for an international plan where all nations work toward a world where 0% of GDP on military spending becomes possible. Holy One, open our hearts, the hearts of our leaders, to not be embarrassed, ashamed of bringing questions of love into our politics and our economics. Great love, give us the wisdom to see the damage being done to democracy by those who would mislead, deflect, disrupt for the sake of disruption and power, and deny the humanity of others. Help us, Lord, to resist tyranny in all of its forms. We hold in care and remember today all those affected by the torrential rains this past week, and an opening of minds and wills to urgent action on the climate crisis. And in a time of sacred silence, we reflect on the joys and concerns shared this day, as well as the prayers that we hold in each of our hearts. And so, friends, as we let go of our prayers and see God as the answer to all our yearnings, you are invited to choose how you address the holy as we join our voices together to sing the prayer that Jesus gave us. Please remain seated. Friends, our service of worship is coming to an end. But the God we worship is never confined to this holy place. The light of Christ burns in each of us, leading us on paths of resurrection. So friends, would you rise as you are able as we sing our closing hymn? It's Go Make a Difference. It's number 209 in your spiral bound. More voices. Please rise as you are able. Go make a difference, we can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference, we can make a difference.
Salt of the earth, let the people see the love of God for you and me. We are the light of the world, not to be hidden but be seen. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Are the hands of Christ reaching out to those in need? The face of God for all to see. We are the spirit of hope. We are the voice of peace. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Let the love shine on, let it shine for all to see. Go make a difference in the world. And the Spirit of Christ will be with us as we go. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world. Go make a difference. We can make a difference. Go make a difference in the world.